Motion order to stand the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Mayor Miller,
Here.
Councilmembers Robinson,
Here.
Bauer,
Here.
Benedict, Rexel, here.
And with that, we will entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda. By Councilmember Udvig, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Craigwell, all in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Now entertain a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion, Mayor.
Motion by Councilmember Robinson, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Before we call for the questions, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Meeting open to the public. There's two segments, you just want to state your name and address for the record.
My name is Dominic Scrow and I live on 23211 Pedersen Drive Northwest. Sorry, this is our first meeting that we've been to, so
All right.
I guess we're coming here today because we've lived at our house since 2019 and our well has started drying up and we're having some major issues with it, and we understand that we gotta get hooked up to city water. We're fully for that, because well has been a problem since day one for us. The reason we're here though is because where the water line runs, it runs underneath the walking path across the street from us, and to get water to our house, it will be $21,000 to bore to our house, plus $500 for the meter, plus $2,000 to cap the well, plus whatever it's gonna cost to have the plumber hook it up for us. So we're here, just seeing if the city can help us in any way, just try to make it a little easier for us. We got a 10-month-old and a wedding coming up here in September as well. It's a lot of cost to try to foot.
Well, I appreciate you coming forward. I know I did speak with Paul a little bit about some of the issues in that area.
Yeah.
One thing that we have to consider before we do anything, obviously, is there is multiple people that could be affected by this and how it affects the city as well. What I would suggest, or what I would ask, I guess, is this something that we could throw on the work session, or is it kind of packed up? Or something to talk about at that time, just because it's not something we can't do anything here right now.
Yep.
But I do appreciate you bringing it forward to us, and I did know that this might be coming too. So I don't know if that's something we can discuss further about our options. Again, I have no idea where it's gonna go, but I mean, to have that discussion, I don't think that's the issue, or is it?
So Mayor and Council, we can put it on the work session, however, Paul is not available that night,
Okay.
so with his expertise and knowledge of this, I don't have any of that.
Okay. Is there an urgency to this situation?
Yeah, it's getting there. I got about 2 gallons of water. So I can take about a 5-6 minute shower. Or run one load of laundry or do the dishes.
Right.
It's picking and choosing.
Well, I can't, like I said, I can't speak to the entire process. What I do know is government moves slow and everything is a process.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be happy to talk with staff about possibilities, obviously. Again, there's multiple houses down your road that are probably gonna end up in the same position too. We have to think about how that affects everything too.
Yeah.
Everybody's gotta pay their fair share to a point, and I do understand the cost and the, especially our current economy too, so.
'Cause, yeah, I mean, 3,500 of it is just the asphalt patch. Just 12 by 12 asphalt patch there. That's a lot, and I know that we're the homeowners responsible in the city from the corporation stop all the way through instead of the curb stop like other cities run, so it's sure.
All I can say is, I mean, I would say I'm open to discussing it, I think we all would probably have that discussion. What's that?
Said, heck, yeah, I'd like some background as far as if it's been.
And I am definitely not an expert on all this, that's where Paul comes in, I can't tell you what time or how long it's gonna be.
Okay.
Like I say, we can discuss possibly when that'll happen, or I don't know, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but we'll give staff direction, I guess, to maybe look into a time to talk about this, is the best thing I can tell you right now at this moment.
Okay.
I did, like I say, talk with Paul about the situation on that street, about what's going on, but, like I said, we can't just give you an answer, we can't necessarily just break it down and have it, go ahead.
So Mayor, I was going to suggest, can it wait 2 weeks? Possibly we could do a quick work session before the July 1st council meeting, if everybody could be here by 5:30. But that's 2 weeks out, so
I've been running with this for a couple of weeks now, so.
that would work for council.
So you're saying, oh, let's get done at, okay, we'll break before on Monday on the first, start at 5.
We could do a work session from 5 to 6 and a council meeting at 6, if that would work, but that would be the soonest. And then we would have Paul here, so.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
When would the gentleman be available to come to, would we allowed to have some exchange? To fill in some blanks, or does Paul know everything and we need to know nothing more from the gentleman? Could we have the gentleman here?
Mayor, council, it is an open meeting, so,
Okay,
yep,
that'd be good, the dialogue would be nice, but you can fill in some blanks that.
Yeah.
That questions might pop. Thank you.
We'll set up a
wanna do
session,
that?
yeah,
Okay,
5, we'll,
You said 5 o'clock then?
5 o'clock, the first, July 1st, it was like.
So-
Okay,
we put that in there for it.
well, thank you guys very much, so.
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Anybody else open the public? Find out. Being none, we'll move on to, well, we got the public hearing with the intro here before we. With that, so we'll do the public hearing on Vista Prairie at Eagle Point, conduit bond, but we'll start with staff first.
So, Mayor and council, so tonight is another public hearing in regards to the conduit bonding for Vista Prairie. This is similar to what we did a couple weeks ago. We held that in regards to the bonding that the city did along with Nowden and Cat Lake. This is the same thing, however, now the city of Welcome is also part of this, is the 4th city that will be issuing conduit bond. We do have Marn from TAF here if there's any questions. But again, this is very similar. This is one of the 4 issuers for that conduit bonding for the senior housing project. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, and again, the other executives.
I don't have any questions at this point.
All right.
Kevin?
Just one, again, it doesn't hold us in liability for anything, we're just more or less, we've done the homework on this nonprofit that's coming to our town to build a really nice building. And we're just giving them accreditation that they're worthy of this bond and.
Correct, Mayor and Council, so it, not only was it the city who gave funds, but all of these other cities, but because we're a host city, we then have to hold the public hearing on behalf of the project. This one is specific for the city of Welcome, but the cities have no risk. So whether the debt is, something goes, wrong with that debt, the city is just allowing that credit for, the credit to be used and not the debt against us.
Okay, so, okay, very good, thank you, Pete, that's all.
So we just think. Rob?
So I guess my question would be, other cities are doing a conduit bond, and I know we have funds in our liquor store. Is this beneficial to other cities, like say they give up $1 million of their slush fund? And when the bond gets paid back, they get $1.5 million. It's a way for those other 4 cities to actually make money, or are they just tying up money
Nope.
with no profit?
None of your money's there.
So Mayor and Council, it doesn't do any draws on any of our money. It's all paper, so it's much like we took out a bond for our city hall fire station project. This is, this project is taking out a bond with our interest rate, but we don't have any money out of hand, out of pocket, it's,
But the other four cities, I guess.
and same thing.
Same
So they're each issuing a $10 million bond, but they're not giving up any money.
Right, but what are they gonna get back?
You're using my
Bonds,
credit score to
because
buy your house, you get a lower rate,
cities would not just jump in and say, hey,
basically. What it is.
I just want kind of an air, you know, like, cause we have liquor fund money, and if this is something that another city is going to build something, we can issue a bond of, say, $500,000. And when that bond is all done, the city of St. Francis is gonna get their $500,000 plus 100,000
Sure.
in profit.
Hmm.
That's why businesses do stuff.
Yeah.
Money's gotta come from somewhere.
Mhm.
These four cities aren't signing up to go, hey, we have some credit here for you
Mhm.
with no benefit.
Yeah.
But they are.
So the cities themselves are not acting as a bank. The money is coming from an actual bank, but the city acts as a conduit. So the money is lent to the city, and then the city lends the money to the nonprofit, but the city never actually gets the money. We call it a conduit issuance. And the city acts as the issuer so that the nonprofit can borrow at a tax exempt rate. And so it lowers the rate of interest, let's say from like 8% to 5%. And it's only for certain kinds of projects. So this project qualifies because it's a nonprofit housing project for seniors, but you couldn't do this for, you know, a liquor store. A liquor store cannot
Right.
borrow tax exempt. But the reason that I think what you're maybe getting at is why do cities do this? The first reason is that you get a project in your city that you might want, but the other reason, and I don't know if St. Francis does this because I'm not your bond council, but a lot of cities have a fee for doing this, and it is a percentage of the bond that is issued, and that might be like 0.5% or something of the principal. And so you get a little money to cover like what you might think of as your costs for the time you spend looking at all the documents. So there is some financial benefit to cities doing this other than just the project being in your city. Does that answer?
That was my answer I
Great,
was looking
okay.
for. There's gotta be some little
Yeah.
perk, and I don't know what
Yes,
that
that's
fee
the
is,
perk.
but, you know, I've never in 8 years heard that St. Francis did a conduit bond for any other city that I can recall.
Yeah, but as host city, you are not, you're not having a fee for the bond because you're not an issuer. But if you were the issuer of the bond, then you have a fee that you get for being the issuer of the bond. But here you're just host city for this bond for welcome. And the reason that we have to have this public hearing tonight is because of federal law. That if the project is built in your city and bonds from outside of your city are coming in for that project, then the city has to host at this hearing approving the project, so that some city can't just like come into your city without your approval, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, any other questions?
Thank you,
Thanks.
Thank you.
that's definitely weird.
Well, there's some
It was
benefit.
it.
The other four cities are getting some sort of fee, where they're getting it from the nonprofit or from
Right,
the bank, somewhere they're making a little bit of money on whatever that, I would love to know what that value would be, not because St. Francis, but what are those other four cities getting for, like, maybe that's something that St. Francis can do to bring money in, is to support other cities and their projects
Yeah, I
that
think you
fit
could,
that need, fit that need.
yeah, you could talk with your bond council about that, Julie Eddington, I agree that if you don't already have that system, that fee set in place in certain city documents.
all right. With that, at 6:14, we will open the public hearing. Mr. Prairie, Eagle Point conduit bond. Do you have anybody that would like to speak? Anybody? At 6:15, we'll close the public hearing. With that, we will move on to the resolution 2024-25, giving most approval to the issuance of the city of Welcome. Entertain a motion to approve that. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilmember Bauer. Do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Krecklo. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. That now we will move on to old business. Clinic zoning ordinance amendments, second reading, ordinance 331, amending zoning code to allow clinics and offices to do medical dental. Therapy.
Mayor and council, before you tonight is the second reading for the zoning amendment for the ordinance in the I-1 district to include the medical and dental uses. This is an expansion of that use in that zoning district. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Question, Sarah?
I have no question.
Kevin?
No questions, Mayor.
Crystal?
No questions.
No questions.
I have no questions either. For a second reading, we kind of been through this and few businesses discussing the need for this to begin with. With that, we will entertain a motion to approve ordinance 331 amending the zoning code. We have a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Motion by Councilmember Robinson. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Udvig. We give it to ordinance. We'll do roll
Mayor Bauer,
call. Aye.
Councilmembers Bauer,
I,
Edvig. Aye. Krecklo. Aye. Robinson.
Aye.
Carries. With that, we'll entertain a motion for resolution 2024-24, authorizing summary publication of ordinance 331. We have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilmember Krecklo, second. We have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Bauer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. With that, we'll move on to new business. Item A, council vacancy, resolution 2024-26.
I'll take that. Honorable Mayor, members of the council, before you is a memorandum in regard to Councilmember Bauer's recent resignation from the city council. Tonight, the city council will be acting upon accepting that resignation and then declaring the vacancy pursuant to the city charter and then also to state law. So before you is the resolution, then staff will be posting the vacancy, and then council can have a discussion about meeting to review any candidates that will put their name forth to fill out the remainder of the job. And with that, I'd stand for any questions of the council with that.
Can Rob vote on this?
Do I abstain?
You can abstain if you want to. You are currently a member of the city council. And this is not an appointment. You'd be recusing pursuant to law, but on this, if you would like to, you certainly can. If you would like to recuse, you can certainly as well.
This is my question. I didn't know. Yes, we'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2024-26 declaring vacancy. St. Francis City Council due to the resignation of council member Robert Bauer. Do we have a motion to approve resolution 2024-26?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Motion by Councilmember Robinson. Do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Udvig. Any discussion? Or, all in favor? Motion carries. And item B, we will set a special meeting to fill that vacancy. Applications will be accepted starting when?
So, Mayor and Council, the publication of the vacancy will go in the paper on Friday.
Okay.
And from there, it'll be 30 days posted and published.
Friday. Kind of curious about some of the dates that we put out. So. All right, so we had an option here, we go with 28th and 29th. 29th, 30th. Nice. Yeah, either one's probably work for me.
You know what I mean?
Either one.
We have any particular? I would say let's shoot for Mondays and just keep it consistent with everything.
So July 29th,
Yeah,
community room,
sure.
at what time?
Does anybody have any? I would lean towards 5, I guess, or 5:30, even 5:30. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's meeting open to the public again. Anybody? Council member reports, let's start with you, Rob.
I did see the bike rodeo go on, I was unable to attend, I'm not a resident. No, I'm just kidding, I already know how to ride a bike, but it did look well, attended, I was actually heading out of town, already that day, so. I just wanna thank staff for listening, bending their ear to my way of thinking and philosophies and, you know, butting heads when we butt heads, but, you know, coming to resolutions that better fit, the city's needs. I wanna thank the residents, for allowing me to serve for them, for 2 terms. Like I said last week, 2 weeks ago, my house sold way faster than I thought it was going to. And the offer was that I got out as fast as possible, so I was not gonna turn that down. But I wanna thank everybody for 7.5 years. It is not always fun, residents, but if you want to lead from the front, throw your name in the hat, become a voice for your community here on the council, if you so desire, it's tougher than it really looks. Thanks.
Good. Sarah?
I did go to the bike rodeo, it was very well attended, I think, I heard it was probably the highest attendance we had, it was a really great event. That same night, I also did attend the How Pretty Salon grand opening. And then, I noticed a couple of dates on our upcoming things, we did have that, the city offices are closed on the 19th, correct? Yeah, and then also we are having a work session on the 20th. Correct. I just wanted to make sure, like, did I miss something? Okay, so that's all.
I missed the bike rodeo. I've actually been out of state for family issue. I just want to thank Rob for his time. I know we've had a few times, but this is hard to do. Thank you. That's all.
Good.
I did not attend the bike rodeo, I'm sorry to say, I did do an impromptu visit to see Jeremy, install construction, pop in and see the building. It looks really nice, it looked very, very functional, the fire department, I suppose, just itching like crazy, but the bays and, just the overall functionality and the flow, it looks really nice, it's, again, I think it was money well spent, and it'll serve the city for many, many decades. The fit and finish and the quality and the care that Jeremy's taking it in. He introduced me to several tradespeople that were in there that live in the area, in St. Francis. So, and they're proud to tell them that, so. And the job site was clean and neat, and, they run a pretty tight ship over there, so Saul's done a really good job, and it really exceeded. I guess I didn't have any expectations, but if I did, they would have exceeded them, because I've been on construction in my previous lifetime, and seen a lot of stuff, and, these guys really, in the care and stuff that they take on what they're doing on the job, it stands out, so. Looking forward to being there. That's all.
I did attend the bike rodeo, that was awesome. I've never been to a bike rodeo until now, I've had the opportunity to actually go to one, I was really surprised at how many people were there, that was super cool. think of what else, I guess, we wanna make sure, so we did have a lot of people, well, more than we've ever had that I've seen, my career here, with the city council. Apply to be on the council, which is encouraging and good, I think, we've been looking for involvement, and we're finally getting some, which is awesome. And I would encourage all candidates to take the time to come to meetings, if you can't make it, obviously check them out on YouTube. You know, just because we don't see it doesn't mean you're not watching. Although when you see 6 views, you wonder who those are. I would encourage people to those candidates to attend the work sessions. Take the time out of your day to go and meet with staff, get caught up on things that you might want to know. The reason I say that too is if you do happen to get elected, if you hit the ground running, it's only gonna be better for everybody. You know, meeting with heads of departments, learning whatever you can learn, and even if you don't get in, you'll understand things a lot better, and I think you'll be better for it. So I would encourage everybody, all the candidates that filed, to take the time to do that. Sorry to have to get an influx of people, but it's obviously for the right reasons, so, I guess with that, well, thank you, Rob, for your time here. We started at the same time, so it's been an interesting 8 years. Yeah. So, thank you, and, with that, we'll entertain a motion for adjourn. Motion by Councilmember Bauer, do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Krecklo, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries at 6:26.
Do you want to keep it?
No.
Well, keep it, no.
Sure.